So what is your definition of success?
Creating an impact in society.
So Shreyas, I can see your 10th and graduation score, these are good, but your 12th score is very low. So what happened in 12th standard?
After 11th, we got to know about the competitive exams such as JEE and CET. And because of that, our concentration diverted into a lot of the things.
So what is happening in share market these days?
The share market is currently falling, doing negative trails.
In MBA, what specialization are you thinking of?
I am currently thinking of going into finance.
So if you keep learning through videos, why do you want to go to a B school? You can always learn through videos as well, right?
Courses won't provide me my networking, that how I can bond with my other peoples and how I can increase my network, so it will help me in my future.
Okay, Shreyas, can you tell us something about yourself?
Yes, sir. As you know, my name is Shreyas and I've been working in the EPC sector from last 18 months, where I have gained a lot of skills such as team working, communication skills, as well as I have also worked with international clients, handled international clients as well as vendors, and also communicated interdepartmentally very well. And I aspire to be a successful leader in the future. For that, I have to gain some skills such as teamwork and enhance my communication skills. I also lean towards the part that I have to be a continuous learner for my rest of the life, and I'm a keen learner and adaptable also. In whichever field I go, I can adapt. And lastly, I would like to tell that I would, as a leader, I would like to create an impact on my people in my surroundings.
So can you throw some light over your work experience? What is it that you do?
Yes, sir. I am currently designated as a static equipment engineer. My role and responsibilities are to design and verify the documents which are sent by vendors on the equipment such as pressure vessels, heat exchangers, tanks, and etc. My main job is to review the vendor documents which they provide us, and I have to check with a very keen eye on it and provide the revisions and some corrections to them.
So you work with heat exchangers. So what is LMTD?
Sir, actually I am working in the part where we actually provide the thicknesses, the minimum thicknesses to the vendors, and the part of the LMTD, which is a heat flow part, is done by another team called as process. Therefore, I don't have that full form.
You would have done that in engineering, right?
Yes, but I currently can't remember the full form.
So in a boiler, there are some accessories. So can you name some accessories?
In the boiler, sir, there are nozzles, manways, through which we can clean. A man can enter, as well as the ladders which are welded inside, and plus a lot of internals elements such as random packing as well as structured packing, through which distillation is done in a particular column. And I currently don't know exactly about the boiler. So
what are accessories? No. So what is meant by an accessory?
So the part which is installed inside the boiler or
Inside?
welded. Yes.
Necessarily?
Not necessarily. Accessories can also be outside also. So accessories can be insulation, fireproofing outside the boiler, through which we can protect. Also PPE kits, personal protection kits, which are installed which are wrapped outside the boiler.
So what is happening in share market these days?
The share market is currently falling, doing negative trails currently.
So why do you think it is happening?
So the major reason for the share market downfall is the rise in the price of crude oil due to the international conflicts between Russia and US. As the crude oil prices are rising, our efficiency to buy, or our power to buy the crude oil is going less. Plus the rupees is standing at the all-time low in its peak, and therefore also the inflation is rising, and the power of people investing in the stock market is also decreasing, and therefore the share market is going down these days.
So what is the price of crude oil these days?
Sir, I currently don't know about the price of crude oil these days, plus I can get back to you after I finish my interview, and
You will not get that opportunity, right?
yes, I'll not get the opportunity, but I'll definitely email you about that.
So how much was the crude oil price about 18 months ago?
Please, I don't know that.
Okay, but you said that crude oil price is going up.
Yes.
Okay, so what's your motivation to go for MBA?
Sir, currently my skills are very enriching in my current job. I get to know about lots of skills, but to go where I want to go, or else I can say that to achieve my long term goals, I need certain more skills which the MBA will provide me, and therefore my motivation is to this is my motivation to pursue MBA.
So where do you want to go in the long term?
So long term, I would like to see myself as a general manager of a certain organization, leading a large amount of people, plus different geographies, different verticals, and create and have a good impact on the colleagues they will be controlling under me.
So Shreyas, I can see your 10th and graduation score, these are good, but your 12th score is very low. So what happened in 12th standard?
Sir, as I finished my SSC exam, I was exposed to a lot of things. But after a later part of after the later part of my 11th standard, before that we were just focusing on our 12th boards, and we are doing only that. But after 11th, we got to know about the competitive exams such as JEE and CET. And because of that, our concentration diverted into a lot of the things and can't concentrate on any single exam. And therefore, my scores are very effectively low in these exams.
So you are not able to multitask.
Yes.
But then you could have decided that, okay, this is one exam for which I want to prepare. Then why didn't you do that?
That advice I didn't get at the time. Everyone was forcing me to prepare for all the exams, so that the chance for
Who was forcing you to prepare for these?
my dad, of course. And not because any negative part, but because of the chances that I would have get through all of the exams, and therefore I was preparing for all of them.
So I can see that you have done a lot of things. So I saw on your application you written you reached some audition stage of a dance reality show.
Yes.
And you also play tabla, and I can see you also written some treks. So firstly, why do you indulge yourself in so many activities?
So my motivation for indulging in such extracurricular activities was very serious, that I was a very introvert kind of person in my school days. I wasn't able to talk to people as I could now. My father advised me to participate in such activities, and just I participated in my first activity, that was prose recitation competition, which I was very nervous because I had a stage fear. But in that competition, I secured a third prize with the lot of practice I did earlier, and from that I got the motivation that even if I can conquer all other activities also, and therefore I indulged in every activity I could possibly go.
But don't you think this indicates lack of focus? You are not very sure what you want to do. You are doing a lot of things.
So in the every part of my life, I did all things which made me realize that what I should go into, and therefore I tried every spice and got my taste buds right in the right way.
So currently, what are your hobbies? You still play tabla?
No, sir, I don't play tabla now. I currently play piano and harmonica.
Okay. What else do you do?
Sir, I also love to drive. Plus, I love to do the what do you call it, burnout in the tires.
Why do you want to do that?
Because it gives some kind of kick in me. It gives
What you're saying
something-
is drifting.
not drifting. I don't have that car to drift, but the burnout, the wheel spins. You stay in a stationary position and you just drift the wheel so that the dust and the smoke comes out of the tire.
How is that any sort of productive activity?
So that's not productive activity. I do that in my leisure time. It don't have to be productive.
In MBA, what specialization are you thinking of?
I'm currently thinking of going into finance.
Why finance?
So it was a real life story. I was browsing on my YouTube sessions. And I found a video that says that the content creators were making money. But I assume that how can a YouTube, as a company like YouTube, which is not selling any products, can provide a money for who are working them. And then from that I did my research and found that the advertisements which we see in the YouTube videos, they give the YouTube money, and YouTube gives some part of money to the creators. And from that my motivation was to find the flows in the how the money flows from one part to the another part, and how this contributes in the financial domain.
So you got interested in finance because of that. Okay.
Plus, I would like to handle the second most important part of the organization. The first is the people, of course, and the second is the finance.
So you're saying people is the most important part of any organization, finance is secondary. Then why don't you do people management?
So because it's very tough to manage people, the large amount of people, as the companies could also have about 1,000 to plus 2,000 people, but managing a small group can be in my part.
Then using that logic, I think a lot of people should do HR rather than doing MBA finance. But we see the trend is the reverse of that.
Yes, so people have different interests. No? They can go, if they love to handle people, then they are of course independent to go in the HR field.
I'm still not convinced that you watching a YouTube video has triggered interest in finance. Have you done anything related to finance in your organization? Have you taken up any course or certification?
No, sir, not such as.
When did you discover that you want to do finance?
Sir, about a year ago.
So then why didn't you use that last 1 year to do something related to finance?
So that I was lacking in that.
So let's say if you enter the B school and you realize that you are not able to even understand what asset liabilities and credit debit is, what would you do?
So that I could understand now also, because I've seen some videos of that.
So if you keep learning through videos, why do you want to go to a B school? You can always learn through videos as well, right?
Yes, sir.
All the content is there on YouTube.
Yes. Their courses are all available for the finance, but the courses won't provide me my networking, that how I can bond with my other peoples, and how I can increase my network, so it will help me in my future. That course won't provide me that, and therefore I'm.
If you just want access to network, there are a lot of groups that are available. You can always join them.
So plus the advantages are also there, as I'm preparing for the college, which provides a 4-month trimester to another city, another country. So going there, I can understand other people also, how their culture is and how their people think, and that will help me in my goal of being a successful leader and handling people.
What do you consider as your biggest strength and biggest area of improvement?
So my biggest strength is adaptability. I'm very flexible in adapting everything. I can give an example that I was working in a project in my company where I worked in 2 projects actually. The first one was going in the end phase, where I have to do the all transportation kind of work. I have to approve and check the transportation drawings. I have to keep an eye on every detail, as the inch of error could also create a lot of trouble. And now currently I'm working on the starting phase of the proposal phase of the project, where we have to bid to the client that this I am capable of doing this project, and please give me this project.
Okay. An area of improvement?
Yes, area of improvement. I would call it as my weakness, that I compare myself with a lot of other people. I keep on overthinking about them, that why they are successful and why I am not. And nowadays I have realized that that's not the thing how we should think. I think that the success comes in its own pace, and we should not think about that too much. And slowly I'm improving my weakness.
So in a way, you are saying you are not successful.
Currently, I may not call myself a successful guy.
So what is your definition of success?
Creating an impact in society.
So what makes you think that you are not creating an impact? Indirectly, you are creating an impact because you are working for your company.
Yes.
You are doing at least something there.
Yes, I'm doing.
And then?
That would also go.
So why do you think you are not creating an impact?
So because I haven't worked for any social gathering, means I haven't done any social work at least up till now, and that is my goal, to do a social work and create an impact in the society.
Okay, I think we can end the interview here. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, Shreyas, your interview is over. I'll
Yes.
begin with the feedback.
Okay.
So, how do you think it went?
I was very low in the details kind of type of part, that I was not knowing details about any deep knowledge about anything, and I was having the upper knowledge of everything. Therefore, I think I should improve my deep knowledge.
So, there are areas of improvement
Yes.
in a lot of places.
Okay.
So, firstly, in your introduction, you talk about a lot of things. But really good point about your profile is that you're working with that EPC client or EPC company.
Yes.
Yeah? There was only one liner about it. So what is it that you are doing? What sort of business it is into? So are they doing EPC, taking EPC contracts for roads or power plants, or what type of infrastructure projects?
Okay.
So I'm assuming because you're talking about boilers and other things, possibly they're into
Petroleum plant.
petroleum plants, okay.
Yes.
Not in power generation.
Yes.
Fine. So whatever it is, your company is into this type of business, and this is my role.
Okay.
It should be to bring that angle in, because otherwise it will send wrong signals to the interviewer that you are looking for MBA as an escape route.
Okay.
See, because ultimately you spend at least 8 to 10 hours every day at job.
Yes.
And at least maybe 1 or 2 hours one way to reach your office.
Yes.
Right? So almost half of the day goes in that.
Yes.
And despite that, if you're not willing to talk about much about your work,
Okay.
and that too after having worked there for 18 months.
18 months.
So it will send wrong signals.
Okay.
So don't do that.
Okay.
Talk about it. And then you learn certain skills, team building and all. Fine. There is always a better place to talk about these points
Okay.
in the interview, not right in the introduction. And then at one point of time, I almost felt that you are going to give us the answer to why MBA right in the introduction. Almost. You stop short of that.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Wait for that question to come to you.
Okay.
You know, so many times, even in engineering, all the engineering students would have gone through this experience sometime or the other. If a question is posed in an oral exam, and if they don't know the answer, then they tell everything.
Yes. Yes.
So out of which, at least something could be relevant.
Yes.
So don't let the interviewers form that impression. Okay. So the idea is that in the introduction, you don't want to talk everything about your work experience, but little bit to arouse their interest.
Okay.
And then they can take the thread forward and ask questions up.
Okay. To continue asking
More
questions
questions.
about my work. Okay.
So that is how you can drive the agenda for the interview.
Okay.
Then for LMTD, that log of mean temperature difference. So you can't say that other team is handling that. Are you getting that?
Yes, I'm getting that one.
Then accessories for boilers. So what are accessories? Accessories are just added on equipment, sort of. So if accessories are not there, boiler can still run.
Okay.
But with accessories, either you make the operations run more smoothly or make it more efficient.
Okay.
For example, economizer of boiler. So when the water goes in and there is smoke that is going out of the fire chamber of the boiler.
Yes.
So anyway that smoke is going out in the air, and you have to take the water in. So why not direct that smoke around the water pipe that is going inside?
Okay.
So that before water reaches boiler, its temperature would be higher.
Yes.
That is economizer.
Okay.
So your fuel requirement will go down to that extent.
Okay.
So even if it is not there, boiler functioning will not be affected.
Okay.
but still, it is a sort of an efficiency enhancer
Okay.
for boiler.
Yes.
Then also know little bit about, so basically know what you're talking about. Yeah? So crude oil prices are going up.
Yes.
These days crude oil prices are not actually going up.
Okay.
The reason why Indian share market is falling is different. Okay. Yeah? So there is a stimulus from China. So because of that, FIS felt that China would be a better investment destination. That is one point. Second point is Indian share market is now about 6 months ago.
Okay.
Was at fairly high valuation.
Yes.
So some amount of profit booking took place.
Okay.
And at the same time, they found alternate destination in the
For investing.
for investment in the form of China.
Okay.
Then obviously about terms policies and all.
Yes.
Uptake in US economy.
Okay.
So maybe they can get good returns in US.
Okay.
So so the way it works is, if you are say expected rate of return in say India is at 10%.
Okay.
And there is another opportunity for you to invest in Mozambique.
Okay.
Expected rate of return is 10%.
Okay.
So where would you invest?
So the rate is same, so I'll invest in India.
Exactly.
Yes.
If it is 11%,
Okay.
would you invest in Mozambique?
Yes, of course.
Of course.
Yes.
So that means you are more risk-taking person.
Okay.
See, from the point of view of financial, those FIS, they need at least substantial difference. That's some data.
Okay.
Over and above what they can expect in US,
Okay.
in India. Only then they will come.
Okay.
Now, if US market is also giving higher return, slightly higher return, then that delta decreases.
Yes.
So some financial institutions are not comfortable with, because ultimately they are American institutions.
Yes.
And they want to invest in India, but they are not getting substantially high enough returns to compensate for that additional risk that they are taking. So they withdraw.
Okay.
So as a result of all these factors, market is
Down.
down. And then conflict between Russia and US. So which conflict between Russia and US?
So I thought that the price were increasing because of the conflict in Russia and US.
But which conflict?
So
Then you will find out more information and tell the interviewer after the interview.
that won't work.
See, the idea of this, although this is a mock interview, you have to treat it as seriously as if
Yes.
it is an actual interview.
Yes.
So will you say this to professors?
No, sir, that won't work.
And moreover, okay, so you'll not get that opportunity, so I'll send it on email. So you said all these things that you shouldn't have said.
Okay.
Then, as Prasad rightly said, this one video on YouTube, and that is your motivation to go for finance. So what is exactly done in finance?
So the finance, as I would go for a financial role after my MBA, I would be doing allocating the capital from one place where they have to invest and allocate in my organization wherever it's necessary in a proper proportion. That would be my work.
So in a way, the role that you're talking about is corporate finance.
Yes.
And for corporate finance, not always, but usually people from commerce background and CS are preferred.
Okay.
In general, the idea of finance is that you have one source of fund. You are working for a financial institution. You deploy those funds somewhere such that you get good enough returns with commensurate risk. If the risk is very high, and if you are not getting, even if you are getting good returns, the risk is very high, it will not returns. So that's the whole idea of finance. You have one source of funds and then you channelize those funds somewhere. Okay, so get more clarity
About the
all
role.
this. So inside your My IMS, you will see the recordings
Yes.
of those sessions. I conducted 3 sessions on economics, 3 sessions on finance. All those recordings are there.
Yes. Yes.
So I discussed all the different roles in finance.
Yes.
So this know about all this and then make
then
statements.
present, okay.
Otherwise, it will backfire.
Yes.
Coming to my feedback, firstly, the introduction, you said a lot of things, right? So, my skills, these are my skills. I aspire to be something, right? So, see, you have a lot of things on the application. So, speak about that rather than talking about I have communications. You said something about some international experience, which is good. But then skills specifically, right? So, communication and some teamwork and things like that, not required.
Okay.
So, you focus on who you are, what you do, what has been your educational background and all those things, and maybe you can add a line on your hobbies and interests, right? Because you have done a lot of things. Then Girish asked you a lot of technical questions, which was to some extent okay, you knew a few things, but could have been much better.
Okay.
Then we spoke about again that one feedback that he has given, right? That there's no way you can reach out to the interviewer after the interview.
Okay.
So don't
That
say
point-
anything like that I will get
I will
back to you or
delete
not.
that
That's
point,
not
yes.
going to happen. Regarding communication, there are few places where you ended up saying things that are grammatically wrong. So you'll just have to take care of that. Then you said something like, I want to make good impact. I was going to ask you, what do you mean by good impact, right? So don't say things just like that. Right? You have to substantiate that with something.
Okay.
So give some example, give some context to it, so that whoever is listening to it will understand, okay, this is what you're talking about. So as Girish also said, right, that you don't you think you're making an impact at this point of time? Indirectly you are.
Yes.
Right. Then we spoke about your low score, so in 12th standard, and then you said that there was a lot of forcing that happened. My dad. So I think technically that happens to a lot of people. So everybody starts saying things honestly. Everybody will say that there was some bit of pressure that happened from parents or somebody else. In the interview, you're not supposed to say that.
Okay.
So if you got low score in 12th, that is on you. That is not on anybody else.
So
you
we should
cannot
accept that.
pass on that blame to, let's say, my dad, external this thing. CET was supposed to happen in this month, but it happened in some other month. Those things are not going to help you.
Okay.
You own it up and say, okay, fine, this is what I did, right? And I didn't study enough. It's okay to say that.
Okay.
That for whatever reasons, there were a lot of distractions. I was not able to study. I didn't study. Then I asked
Sir,
you.
was the concentration part not good?
No, concentration must have wavered because of a lot of other things, right?
Okay.
So it need not be only that, okay, somebody was forcing you, so your concentration went for a toss. Then I asked you about you indulge in so many activities which indicates lack of focus, which somebody can actually question you because you've done a lot of things. So even in your hobbies, there are like 9 or 10 things that are written. So you pick up the things that you want to really talk about. So if I want to talk about, let's say, riding a bike or whatever, driving, you pick that one aspect and know whatever you can about that element.
Okay.
So you mentioned tabla.
Yes.
So I said tabla. And then I asked you, do you play right now? You said no. So that is not helping anybody.
Okay.
The discussion is not going anywhere.
Yes, sir.
Correct? So figure out what exactly it is that you want to talk about.
Okay.
Then again, one YouTube video cannot motivate you.
That
Honestly, it
answer
can
I
for a
have to
little
change.
bit. But then that cannot be the reason why you decide to change your career.
Okay.
And then it was completely messed up answer because we started with finance and that's my honest reaction on it. Then you said this is the second most important function. And then you said people management is the most important function.
Yes.
Then I said, why don't you do it? Where is the discussion going? Right? It's going haywire.
Yes, yes.
So you have to take cues from that and understand that I am trying to put you in a position where I want to establish that you are a confused individual.
Okay.
You have to bring more clarity now. So you have to salvage the situation somehow. You said something, you made a blunder.
Okay.
Now
Then,
salvage the situation.
okay.
So don't say that finance is the second most important function. What if two finance profs are sitting in front of you? Or what if, let's say, one alum is sitting who is, let's say, VP of finance in some organization?
Okay.
He'll be like, what is this? My role is not that important. Right? So please don't do that.
Okay.
Correct? Every function is important. Finance, marketing, HR, operations, systems, IT, analytics, whatever you say, everything is important.
Okay.
why you want to do finance, figure out a very strong reason, as Girish also mentioned.
Okay.
YouTube video
Yes, sir.
cannot be the reason.
Yes, sir.
I might watch a video on Zumba. It doesn't mean that I'll start a Zumba class tomorrow. Right?
Okay.
That should not be the case. Then why finance, why networking, whatever things like that you discussed, which was fair. So it's like they're there, but not reaching the core. So the interview right now is very generic.
Okay.
Right? It is not helping you to get ahead the way you responded. But can you build depth in the next few days? You have interviews over the next 1 month.
Yes.
So study more, right? Study finance more. Take up, let's say, pick up a finance book, right? And actually try to read through it. Or do a course on finance. Let's say there are a lot of, or Coursera, for example, right? Do some course, which will put you in a position where you can at least speak confidently about finance, rather than saying I got inspired by YouTube, which is very unlikely.
Okay.
So that's about it. I think you need to work a lot. But the good thing is, you have shown improvement after 12th standard. So you had a good score in 10th, 19 10th, 17 12th, and 19 graduation, which is a fantastic improvement. Plus, you have done a lot of things.
Yes.
It's just that you didn't highlight it.
Okay.
So your achievements and all, you have to speak about it in the introduction.
Okay.
People are not going to read through the entire application.
Yes.
So you bring it up on your own, talk about it, figure out instances or whatever where you can actually plug those things, and that's it.
Okay.
But don't create the situation that happened today.
Okay. Yes, sir.
And I hope you will work on the feedback and get better.
Yes, of course, sir.
Okay. All the best.
Yeah, and just one point I missed about this 12th standard, 70.9%, and that score is slightly on the lower side.
Okay.
So that is a board exam score.
Yes, sir.
But you did well on your CET
No.
entrance exam.
He was distracted that time,
Acha.
which he mentioned, right? So there was a lot of focus, so he couldn't do anything properly.
No, because otherwise there is one way of justification, sort of.
That
At least you can try that this is board exam score.
Okay.
And in CET it was objective, while board exam required subjective answers, long answers.
Yes.
So the focus of two exams were different.
Okay. Yes, sir. That point I can add. Okay.
That way.
Okay.
But I would say you still accept that I didn't do enough.
Okay.
Right? You could have done better.
That is.
So all the best to you. Hope this has helped.
Sir, any
All the best.
positive points?
No. So of course I said a lot of positive points about you. So see, you have done that dance event. You the reality show, right?
Yes.
You reached the audition stage. You have played tabla. You have a lot of hobbies. You have 18 months of experience, right? Appreciation from HOD letter and all of that. You didn't bring it up.
Yes, that was.
So it's your responsibility to show the interviewer what you want the person to know.
Okay.
And build on it. Right now, see, once we have the application, there is an assumption that, okay, the person is maybe a 6 on 10, 7 on 10. With your performance, you can take it to 8 on 10, 9 on 10, 10 on 10.
Okay.
So it is in your control. So don't think that, I've written locus of control. Because one of the areas of improvement, you said that I compare myself a lot with others. I'm not successful. There was a discussion on that.
Yes.
But you said that success comes at its own pace. That is not internal locus of control. That is external locus of control. You are saying that, okay, externally things will happen. I will have to wait maybe for success to come to me.
Okay.
So don't do that.
Okay.
Today maybe you waited for good things to happen. But no, so you have to go towards it.
Okay.
Okay. All the best.
All the best.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.